So this is a Bailey Pegasus Ancona. I'm just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, drop the wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll take you through these in person here on site, and also how the ATC works. In the front locker, you've got your gas bottle with your gas regulator on the bulkhead, and you've got your gas pipe work that comes into the front of the bottle itself, and you've got your on-off valve on top, so gas open is gas on, and gas closed is gas off. Carry a maximum of 2 6 kilogram propane gas bottles on the caravan at any point. Down the side of the van, wind down legs to stabilise the caravan while it's on site. They're only there for stabilising, they are not there for lifting the caravan. Side of the van, you've got your storage locker for the front right hand side, and you've also got your water storage tank in here as well, which I'll show you how to fill once we go inside the van. To be honest, they are a bit of a pain to use, so it's probably better to use, I personally use the aqua roll direct from the water barrel. In the side of the van, you've got your water pump connection, which is on the side of the van. Then you've got the pipe here that's connected to the cap that goes down inside the aqua roll itself. Screw that in place. I'll show you how to fill the water system once we go inside the caravan. You've then got your heating and hot water flow for the gas system, which you release by pulling off the cover and removing it from the side of the van. You need to remove that before you ignite anything on gas inside of the caravan. 2 fridge vents are very simply there to allow the fridge system to breathe. So push out hot air from the back of the fridge unit, and they'll take some cool air in to help with the fridge unit. And behind one of those, there'll also be a gas flue when you're running the fridge on gas. Wheel nuts will be torqued while you're here on site, so you can see they've been tightened correctly. And if they don't get done, please ask one of the guys before the caravan leaves site. Go into the back of the caravan and around the back of it, 2 wind down legs either side at the bottom to stabilise the caravan while it's on site. And again, they're only there for stabilising the van. You'd never lift the caravan with these legs that can potentially damage the floor of the caravan. You've then got your toilet flush tank. You'd put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use, and that's for your flush system, a bit like the tank on top of your toilet at home. Then at the bottom, you've got your toilet waste cassette, which you release by pulling up the orange handle. The orange neck here turns out 90 degrees, so you can tip your waste away. Now on the back of the cassette, you've got your orange pressure relief button, so when you're tipping the waste away, it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. Coming down the side of the caravan, you've got your battery locker and your mains power lead coming into the side of the van that connects to the power directly on site. You've then got a 3-pin socket so you can have power coming out to your awning. Barbecue gas point at the front, and the storage locker for underneath the front seating area. Going on to the inside of the caravan now. The first thing you're going to need to do when you come into the caravan is turn on the master power switch. You've then got your interior lights and your awning light for the outside of the caravan, and then you've got your water pump run. I'll come back to this in a moment. First thing you're going to need to do once you've got the power turned on is fill the water system up. So you're going to come over to every tap on board the caravan and open them all up on the hot side of the water system. So as you can see on the hot side, underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the caravan, you're going to find your water storage tank or your hot water tank. To fill the water system, you're going to need to make sure this yellow valve is parallel with the floor as it is at the moment. And then you're going to need to make sure both this valve B and valve A are pointing towards the hot water tank itself. If you wanted to fill the onboard water storage tank that's just in the front there, you'd need to do it the same way, have all the taps open, but you'd need to turn these valves round towards the front of the cabinet here on both sides, so it allows you to fill that water tank up, and it'll also fill this hot water tank at the same time. Like I said, personally I just use it from the hot water tank here, direct from the aqua roll. It makes life a little bit easier. Once you've got both of those valves in all them valves in the right position, so flat with the floor and these two pointing towards the wall on the outside of the van, you come back to the control panel by the door and turn the water pump on. At that point, the water system is going to start filling up. Once you've got water running out of every tap continuously on board the caravan, which you'll see in a moment as it starts to fill up, you can shut all of the taps back off and start warming the water up. While the water system is just actually filling up, I'm just going to take you through the hot water system. So once that system is full, you can turn all of the taps off, like I said, but then you can warm the water on electric by turning this switch on just here, which is your 230 volt water heater, and that allows the water system to warm up direct from mains power. If you're off grid and you haven't got mains power available, you can run the water system from gas. On the electric, it is also a preset temperature of 35 to 40 degrees, so the gas also comes in useful for when you're on site to use the shower. So it'll actually boost the water system while you're showering if you use the gas at the same time as the electric, or the gas on its own if you're off grid. To turn the gas on, you need to turn the gas bottle on in the front locker. You then spin this outer grey dial round to the flame symbol, and the green light behind here will essentially be your pilot light. If a red light appears in there, it means it has failed to ignite on gas. But with the green light on its own, that means it has ignited and is working as it should. You can control the water temperature on gas between 30 and 70 degrees of water temperature, and whatever numbers above the light in the back here is the temperature the water heater will warm up to. Turn the gas supply back off, you spin the dial back to the off position, and it will isolate the supply to the gas water heater. Any second now we should start getting water coming out the tap. But it does take a few minutes, as you can see, for this water system to fill. Well, that's just finishing off filling there. I'll start taking you through the water heater system. Now, the electric heating for the caravan. So just here on the wall, you've got your 230 volt room heater. You need to have this switch on for the electric heating on board the caravan to work. On the left hand side here, you've got a dial that controls the amount of power the heating system is going to use. So we've got the option of 500, 1000 or 2000 watts, depending on what caravan site you're on. Here on site we can run a maximum of 500 watts, so we're going to set it to that. When you do arrive on your holiday, if you ask the site office, they will advise you of what power source you can run this from if you ask them. To control the temperature of the heater on electric, you've got a dial between 1 and 9. Again, the number that is over the green light is the temperature the heater will warm up to. To turn off the heater, you'll spin it back to the off position, just here in the centre. Let's come back to the water system for a moment. As you can see, that water system is now full, so like I said, you'd shut all of them taps off, and that is when you can start turning on your water heating. The pump will continue to run for a few seconds after as it tops up the water system, but as you could probably just hear in the video there, it cuts out after 3 to 4 seconds of the taps going off. Next thing I'm going to take you through is the gas heating on board the caravan. So on top of the heater itself, you have this dial here. You spin it round between 10 and 9. Hold down the gas valve, and with the gas turned on, when it ignites, you'll have a pilot light in the window down the front of the heater. Once it's ignited, you can slowly release the gas valve, then control the temperature of the heater on the dial on top. However, once it has ignited, you do need to hold this valve down for a further 5 to 10 seconds, then slowly release the valve. A bit like when you try to ignite your hob at home. Turn the gas supply back off, you'll spin it back to the 0 position, and it will isolate the gas supply to the heater. On the right hand side of the heater here, you have your fan speed, which you can turn around to 5, a bit like you have in your car, and this is for the blown air heating that comes out the vents around the caravan. The dot here indicates that the heat is going to come out the front of the heater. The wave symbol here on the left hand side indicates continuous blown air heating. On the right hand side, you've got thermostated blown air heating, so basically automatic blown air that cuts in and out with the thermostat on board the caravan, and will cut in and out as the van warms up and cools down. So that is your heating system. Hob, grill and oven and microwave all work very much the same as your household appliances, with the igniter on the front of the cooker, as you can see. Next up is the fridge. The fridge is very simple to use. If you're on a mains powered site, you'd spin the dial round to the mains option here, then control the temperature of the fridge on the dial on the right hand side. If you're towing down the road and you want to use the fridge as a cool box, once you connect it to your car, you can turn the main control panel off next to the door, and then select the 12 volt mode. This will essentially allow the fridge to work as a cool box as you are travelling. It will not work off the 12 volt battery on board the caravan. It is just the 12 volt supply from the car that is towing the van. If you want to run the fridge on gas because you're off grid, you can spin the dial to the bottom. You'll press in the temperature control and hit the igniter at the same time. Once the fridge ignites on gas, this little red line that you see in the window here will come round into the green, and you continue to hold down the gas valve, a bit like you do with the heater, for 5 to 10 seconds. Once it's in the green, and slowly release the valve. If it fails to ignite, or if it drops out, you just have to try and reignite it again. And if it still doesn't ignite at that point, I'd advise you check your gas bottle for gas, and also ignite the hob so you've got the gas through to the last point on the gas system. The last thing we go through on this particular caravan is the toilet system in the bathroom. On top of the toilet, you have the electric flush button, so you press the button and the toilet will flush. Just here to the left hand side, you have a red indicator light that will illuminate red when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat itself turns for your convenience, as you can see. However, when you're removing the toilet waste cassette from underneath the van, you need to make sure the toilet is back in the central position. Below the toilet, you have the grey waste handle. You can pull the handle towards us here, and it will allow the toilet waste into the cassette underneath. And in the closed position, it will stop any smells coming back up inside the van. So essentially, we do advise that you shut that off after you've used the loo. You will also need to make sure this flap is in the central position when you try to remove the toilet waste cassette from underneath the van or in the side of the van, as you could potentially damage the toilet cassette itself if you try to remove it with it open. So that is the Bailey Pegasus Ancona. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'd be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon when you collect your caravan. Thank you for now. Bye bye.